People don't like me. Everything goes wrong for me. I always mess up in interviews. Everyone will think I'm useless if I don't get that job. All relationships end due to cheating. Do you ever say or think things like this? How does it make you feel afterwards? Chances are it makes you feel anxious or depressed. Negative thoughts can have a real effect on how we feel and behave, and can even cause physical symptoms. In CBT, the examples I gave are called generalizations, and are one of several types of cognitive distortions or thinking errors that are common in people who suffer with anxiety. So if it makes us feel awful, why do we use generalizations? How do we know if we are doing it, and how do we stop doing it? All will be answered in this video, so keep watching. First, why do we generalize? Negative or painful experiences can leave a big impression on the way we think. As a child, someone didn't like me. It was the school bully, and for a year he made my life miserable, taunting and humiliating me. Years later, when I went into a work environment, I found I was very sensitive to anyone making fun of me. It was, of course, just harmless office banter, but my experiences had made me generalize to think all young men wanted to humiliate and bully me. Maybe you had a bad experience at a job interview. Maybe you were really nervous and didn't get the job. The anxiety and disappointment that you felt may have left you with this belief that you always mess up at interviews. Maybe you had a spouse or partner cheat on you. The strong emotions connected to this memory leave a lasting impression on your brain. When it comes to a situation where it could potentially happen again, your brain tries to protect you from feeling this emotional pain again. But often these big negative experiences are one-offs and don't need to shape the rest of our lives. So, how do you stop generalizing? First, you have to realize you're doing it. Look out for words like always, never, all, everyone, and everything. These are sure signs that you are generalizing. To combat generalization, ask yourself these questions. What am I missing out on by thinking in this way? What harm is it doing me? What event made me think in this way? Is it still relevant now? Was my interpretation of the event based on fact or feeling? For example, was it really your nerves that stopped you getting that job? Did you get to refuse a letter saying that? Is it just possible that the job went to someone with more experience, or had already been lined up for someone internally, which often happens? Ask yourself what experiences I have had since that disprove this belief. Try this exercise. Let's say you're reluctant to go on a date because your negative thoughts are telling you that everyone ends up cheating. Write down 3 pieces of evidence that dispute this generalization. Write down 3 couples you know who have not been unfaithful and have been together a long time. If you can't find evidence to disprove your generalization, ask yourself, how can I test it? For me, over time I learned that by joining in the office banter and learning to laugh at myself, I soon realized that not everyone was like the school bully. So make that job application that you were putting off and see what happens. Maybe you should go on that date and see what happens. Another trick to dealing with generalization is to counter them with specifics. Let's take the thought that everyone will think I'm useless if I don't get that job. Start naming specific people among your friends, colleagues and family. Will my friend Jason think I'm useless? Will my sister think I'm useless? Will my colleagues Matt and Emma think I'm useless? Once you become specific, you will realize that most, if not all, the people you know will not think you're useless. Also, reverse the situation. Would you think that they are useless if they didn't get a job they applied for? Neutralizing negative generalization thoughts with specifics can really reduce the impact they have on how you feel, both emotionally and physically, and prevent behaviors that will hold you back in life. So, give it a try. Start spotting those generalizations. Challenge them, test them, break them down to specifics. And in the next video, we will have a look at another common thinking error, polarized thinking. So make sure you've subscribed and clicked on the notification bell.